So, it's been quite a while since we made a video about this particular subject, and so I wanted to touch base on my solo mama road trip healing retreat, which after I came home, I had a couple of weeks to get stuff together and try to recuperate as much of my energy as I could before I got my kids back. And so I got my kids back for the course, and I got my boys back, which was, not the deal, but who just does what he wants, and he claims to be Mr. Noble, but he's not making them come to my house because they don't want to, quote unquote. So, whatever. It is what it is. It bothers me because it's BS, but I have to make the best of it and try to enjoy the time with the kids that I am given by him. And yeah, I could have taken him to court for contempt, or what is it? I think it's contempt. Well, whatever it's called, I don't remember, for the not filing the divorce decree. Oh, by the way, I'm at Bell's Falls, I believe it's called, and I hiked up here 2.5 miles. It was really challenging in the snow because you slip and slide a lot. It's uphill, and I have crampons on, but they don't do that well in the fluffy, thick, snowy slide. But they're good. I love them, and I guess I'm going to try to hike up this hill now again while I talk, because it's kind of late, and I didn't mean to actually hike all the way here. And it's getting a little bit late, so if I fall, you'll watch me fall. It's gonna be good. But anyways, I could take him to court for not filing the divorce decree and make him get my kids back, which I ended up getting them back for Christmas by contacting lawyers. But the reason why I don't do that is because I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting, and I just think it's good for my kids to be around that and to see that and to live and experience it, maybe, him without me. So if what I'm saying is legit or valid at all, then they'll see it. But it takes time with a covert person that has anger issues and whatever issues that he has. So that's one issue. Second thing is I am tired, I am exhausted, and I need me time. I have learned and realized that I can't be Mrs. Mom all the time. I shouldn't have it in me anymore. Whatever the reasons are, whether it's just, life and the way my body happens to be dealing with it, my body and mind. And his ways, whatever, maybe if I was a different person, I could have dealt with it better. But the reality is, he exhausts me, people like him exhaust me, the whole thing exhausted me, and kids are little tiny freaking narcissists, man. They just take, complain, cry, all sorts of very similar to narcissist stuff. Plus they've been raised with it, so they know how to manipulate and all this kind of stuff, more so than if they hadn't been raised around with that, I think. So, not to mention just the fact that I have to be constantly caregiving to others, and there's 4 little kids, right? So I have my other 2, they're 6. It's a lot, and I get really exhausted. I need breaks, but I can't have them. Because I don't really have anyone that I trust to leave them with, anyone that's like healthy mentally, emotionally, etc. And after all the crap I've been through, I just, with other people, trusting other people, I have a really hard time trusting anyone. In addition, I don't have money to pay anyone. So, that's why I wanted to be in Mexico, but the ex wouldn't let me. So then, fine, okay. When I asked him for help 6 months before the Mexico thing happened, he could have just helped me. But no. Couldn't do that. So, okay, maybe he, wanted me to do everything. Then when the Mexico thing happened, was my way of getting the help I needed. Well, he didn't want that either. Well, anyways, no matter what I do, he doesn't want it. So, okay, then he wants to help more. Okay, fine, but I just want to make sure he's healthy. And that he gets help with his anger management so he doesn't be flipping out on my kids. So the boys didn't want to call him because he's mean to them. And scares them. So apparently he, pushed the TV to its death because he was angry they hadn't cleaned what they were supposed to. Which, of course, that is annoying. But you can't just, punch holes in the wall and, destroy your TV and freak out the kids. And one of the times that might be, my kid's friggin' head. One time he's going to hit the kids and not the TV is the fear, right? I don't actually care about his TV. I'm glad it died. But, the boys didn't appreciate that. And who knows what else happened. So, I don't expect perfection, but I kind of expect close to perfection when it comes to certain things. And we can manage things so neither of us get too tired and exhausted and lose it. Because we don't want to teach our kids to, deal with life that way. In my opinion. I'm getting down. Hopefully I'm giving a cute view of nature. That's my objective. But I'm not showing you myself, but showing you nature. Because you see all sorts of humans. It's boring. Nature's cute. Anywho. So I need help. I want help. But no matter what I do, it's not, approved by him, blah, blah. So we have to have the courts. I don't agree with him either. Arrangements he's told me that he wants is, I don't think it's not going to work out for me. So, we continue with the evaluation and all that business. So I finally paid the evaluator, gave him, all the stuff I had, and I don't know if, I just don't even know, my brain's so fried, I'm so tired, I don't even know he's going to understand what the heck my point is in giving him what I give him. If he's going to understand what I see in it, I don't know. I get so tired and confused. Trying not to fall here. Hello. Okay. But anyways, I decided I'm going to give it to him anyways. Yes, I did. And, I kind of like this path earlier. Going down the stream. So, I, gave the dude the stuff. And now I have my appointment for the 7th. And I'm happy to have that moving along. Whatever the dude decides. He basically freaks me out and triggers my PTSD repeating stuff from my ex, but it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing because, he has to do that, I guess, his job, so whatever. But my ex was insisting on the boys talking to him. They didn't want to, so I told him I'll help the boys call you when they're ready. They don't feel like talking to you. Well, he didn't care. He couldn't respect that, which I thought was, typical, but also amazing because supposedly he's not making my my other 2 kids with him call me or come visit me or even respond to my messages or anything because they don't want to. They don't feel like it. So he's respecting their wishes, even though I've done 0 things to them actually to make them behave this way towards me. It's only gossip that has been talked to them under his care that's made them do that to me, which just makes me more depressed, tired, and exhausted. But what are we gonna do? So he didn't like me doing to him what he does to me, or what he's been doing to me since 6 months. But of course, narcissists never like you doing to them what they do to you. Well, I guess, I don't know if narcissists or not, maybe we're all narcissists, but no one likes us to be mean to us, even if we're mean to others. So, he eventually, I just ignored him, and I told him I'm not talking to you anymore. Oh, actually, I helped the kids call him, and all he did was try to talk to me through the kids, the whole conversation. So I heard what his request was. I said no to it, and then he wanted to argue with me through my kids, in front of my kids, whatever it was. So I just hung up on him. That's my boundary. I'm not going to freaking argue with anyone in front of my kids. I rent rooms out, and if any of my roommates try to argue with me in front of my kids, I'm going to strike her out. Like, I won't do it. So, and I'm not saying I don't slip up once in a while, of course, but it's a pretty strict rule, and the slip-ups are very short and brief, and people have been kicked out for that, actually. So I'm really serious about it. Like, I'm not going to argue in front of my kids. Oh, slipping. It's actually talking. It's distracting me from probably falling on my butt. So anyways, look how cute. Oh, there's a pretty on my head. Winter Wonderland. Okay, it's Narnia. It's really pretty. Anyways, so I hung up on him and removed the FaceTime thingy on the computer because I kind of just thought, well, they can just talk to each other when they feel like it, and I'm just going to stay out of it. But then he does that, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not going to do this. Like, no. So then he messaged me who knows what, and I'm like, I was tired. Like, I've had my kids at that point, like, I don't know. Gotta fix my crampon. It's hurting my toes. 6 weeks or something. 5 weeks. Like, straight. I'm just tired. I was still burned out from everything. Like, I'd never even fully recuperated, even after going to Mexico. And the whole drama with I don't know if it's drama, but the fact that my older kids weren't giving back to me was really upsetting to me and exhausting me more. So I was tired, and I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna listen or read his messages because it was wearing me out. It was upsetting me that he just makes deals with me and breaks them. He never respects my boundaries, never respects my wishes, which of course is why, he's an ex-husband, but I just couldn't do it. So I started putting his messages, like, he and I made a deal very clear. Like, the kids are with me 2 months, and no visits with him. So he was trying to get them for Christmas. Well, first he was trying to get them to go pick out his Christmas tree. And I'm like, nope. That's the thing I said no to on the phone. And then he tried to argue, whatever. And I was like, no, we're not going to do this. So then, let's see. He tried to message me about it, but I didn't even read what he said. Still to this day, I didn't even read what he said. And then he contacted the lawyer a few days before Christmas. His lawyer to contact mine. And he was trying to get them for Christmas. And renege on our agreement of 2 months and this and that. So it's confusing because he sees me for custody, but now he wants to go back to the original. I have the kids all the time. He just gets them every 3 days, which I can't do. And so, the guy is confused. He doesn't know what he wants. And so, let's see. I was annoyed and upset, and after talking with my lawyer, I said, okay, well, he had the kids for Christmas last year. So if he wants to go back to filing the divorce decree, then he needs to give me my two kids that he kept. And in addition, the funny part, which is so obvious what he was doing, is he requested to be given my younger kids to him on my birthday. So, in his narc style, trying to ruin my birthday like he'd been ruining our entire marriage. So I told my lawyer, well, first of all, it's my birthday, so I get my kids on my birthday by the decree. In addition, it's my turn to have them for Christmas this year, the first half of the Christmas vacation. So I'm not going to give him the kids, but he's going to bring me my kids, not on my birthday, but tonight, like right now. They're supposed to be with me. So I didn't know if he'd agree or not, but he did. And he brought them to me, and I left my little boys at home to not cause any drama, make sure that he didn't come up to my car, try to see them. Well, one of the things I requested many millions of times is that he not come up to my car. So I had, and try to talk to me in front of my kids, or period ever. So I had a lawyer remind them of that request, please not come up to my car and try to talk to me. But since he's never respected that wish before, I had no way of verifying that he would again. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
All right.
That's what I'm missing is those poles. Oof. That probably helps not slip, huh?
All right.
Oh, thank you. I guess I already got this side, but that was very kind of you. Appreciate it. Anywho, I brought my roommate to make sure that he respected my wishes. And in case he didn't, that I'd have a witness, which I always, when I don't have someone to witness, I record. But he didn't try to come to my car. It was really nice. I was so glad. And my two kids just came and got in the car. And we all just acted like nothing. And it was fine. It was perfect. And we all got along just great. And everything was good. But in the end, I guess their dad didn't tell them anything. He just said that get in the car, get your stuff ready, you're going to your mom. So anyways, that's pretty smart. Because, I try to explain to them and give them the details, and then they argue with me. So I'm learning from him how to do things too. Not cause conflict with my kids. But on the way to drop them off, give them back to Dad, which had, from the 21st till the 27th together. So we spent Christmas, and my daughter wrapped the presents, and we did Christmas morning, and opening them, and it was all cute then. Loved it, and got my boys, got all of them a turtle, and different other tiny things. So those turtles are expensive, so that was their main gift. And so I was to drop them off, and he was an hour and a half late, which he's always late. He's always late no matter what. So he just doesn't even care. So, of course, he had excuses as usual and all this, so it was just interesting. The only reason I bring it up is that my daughter was very compassionate towards him and his lateness. And I'm just I have my boundaries. I want my boundaries kept, but I wanted him to take the kids. I want my break. So, of course, I'm going to wait. And he knows that. So, even though we said no more than 15 minutes late, if I want to take my kids or have him take them, I have to just deal with whatever he does, no matter what our agreement is. So I did. I waited. And my daughter was very compassionate towards him. And then she was very cruel towards me in, like, I don't know exactly how she mentioned it or, how it was articulated, but basically my PTSD and how I vent about Dad and the crappy things he does to and around my kids, which of course I try not to do. Sometimes I get triggered and stuff happens, and then I'm like, and the stuff about him that he does, it's crappy and whatever. So once you're like triggered and in that kind of like not entirely controllable, and I do my best, but there's a few slip-ups, and so that's fine, I get it, like I should try not to do that, but I do think that when you're dealing with a narcissistic personality disorder person, that the kids need to know how to deal with them. And so that's my main intention when I do, like, I'm not just going off, like I'm trying to educate them the best of my ability about the situation, but I just don't have like the skills, so I don't do that great of a job. So I brought to her attention how doesn't she think it's interesting how she has so much compassion for her dad and where he fails, and where does she think that she learned that, like to be so compassionate towards him and his lateness and his flakiness and his punching holes in the wall and TV's flying and whatever, right? So, well, of course she learned that from me. Like, I taught her compassion and empathy towards him and his issues because I had compassion and empathy towards him and his issues. So I modeled that, and that's how I was actually able to stay with him for as long as I did, because I did have compassion and empathy and understanding that, obviously it's a, mental wiring problem because he was abused and bad stuff, right? And then I brought to her attention, why do you think and where do you think you learned to have such a lack of empathy for me? And of course she's like, I don't freaking know. It's like, well, maybe you learned that from your dad, who never cared when I was sick, never feels bad when I'm sad or when I'm hurt and, when I'm struggling. Just like what he had no empathy that I didn't feel well and I had to stay in Mexico longer because I needed to take care of myself. He didn't care. He told my kids basically he didn't care if I died, and he doesn't care if I'm sick, and he doesn't care. And it's fine. It's true. He doesn't care. Like, he would leave me shivering with fever with newborn babies and like a house full of other little kids that I was responsible for taking care of. So he'd go like play soccer and have fairs and do whatever in the world it was he would leave and do. Like, zero empathy. So I just found that extremely like sad, because I was like a lot staying with him because for the freaking kids. And I don't know if leaving him was really the ideal decision, to be honest, but I had to do it to save my own life. So anyways, that's all. That was the culmination. Now it's a few days after I dropped them off at with my ex, and he's supposed to give them back on the 1st, and we'll see if he does. I don't know if he's going to, what that's going to look like. So that's going to be really interesting. In addition, like, I'm really freaking tired. I need, like, a break. So, even if he's like, okay, I'm giving them all back to you, and you got to do everything now, and it's like, I don't think so, dude. Like, whoa, look at this crack. That's how avalanches happen. There could be an avalanche here, just saying. No, is that really? I don't know. Anyways, it looked like a crack, but it might just be something else. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to damage control, micromanage the best I can through lawyers, talk to a school, and just be like, dude, hire somebody to help you so you don't get so exhausted and mean and angry and break things, please. You know? He's like so cheap, he doesn't want to pay someone to help him, but you need to freaking pay someone to help you. You can't do this all by yourself. It's a lot of work. And you don't have like a wife to do it for you free. You gotta pay someone. That's all I want. And neither of us are gonna do well with the children if we're exhausted and worn out. So I wanna take my time to take care of myself so that I can be on my top game when I get them back. Because the baby, I don't really get the sufficient level of rest that I would like, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do my best with that, and I want to go on another solo road trip, another solo healing road trip, away from this freezing cold weather. Like, it's really cool. It's Narnia. Look, it's snowing. Like, die, right? But I am tired. But I need to, I'm at the 2-mile point. That means I walked back half a mile, so 2 more miles to go. But, yeah, Narnia's cool, but, like, warm is better. And I have some friends that I want to visit, so another road trip sounds really nice. So I'll make some more videos on that road trip. And that'll be after my appointment with the evaluator, so I'll have some maybe deets on that. And when court is, might vibe kill on that as well, so I just can't really say how it's gonna go down. Anyways, as usual, take care of yourself. You're worth it. You do deserve it. Yeah, you get to take you time. Doesn't matter what they say. Like, people that love you want you to take care of yourself, and if people are telling you can't, and that you're a bad mom or a bad person or a bad lover, wife, whatever, because you're not, well, you're with a jerk and a jerky people, and maybe you don't want to get rid of them, but you can certainly ignore them and not take what they say to heart. So love ya, take care of yourself, and go do something fun. Mwah.